So let us start first with a proper introduction of who we have in the studio today.
You and me. No, hi, Kevin Liles. Let me say who I am.
Yeah, Kevin Liles. What do you do, Kevin Liles?
Well, first, I'm friendly to you, but more importantly, I think sometimes I say I own a recorded music business or a publishing company. Sometimes I say a platform, but I'm really in the service business, serving our culture and helping how to maintain a sense of entrepreneurship throughout our industry.
Okay. And I think we're going to dive into that a little bit. Okay. But first, I always like to do this, especially when it comes to people who are in the music industry.
Okay.
Are you a Spotify guy, SoundCloud guy, iTunes guy, Tidal guy? What are you? Like, how do you consume your music nowadays?
I'm a everything guy.
You have to be, I think.
You have to be. I believe you have to be able to dribble with both hands.
Okay.
All
right.
It's the importance of knowing the platform, because every artist, some artists might be bigger on Apple than they are on Spotify.
Yeah.
And just based on the user base.
Right.
Some people might be bigger on YouTube because they have a migrating audience from video that's now streaming.
Yeah.
You got to look it up. And some people might be niche around a title. So I think it'd be ignorant of me to say it's one thing, because it's never one thing. People consume and engage in a lot of different ways. And It's our job to help our artists and the consumers navigate.
Mm-hmm. As a veteran in the industry, though, honestly, doesn't it kind of annoy you that you have to like go to all these different things? You can't just like buy CDs or turn on a radio and hear everything. Like, you have to be like, oh yeah, this guy he's only on SoundCloud. Oh, she's only on YouTube. And like, you got to sort of figure out where they're at. Does that annoy you?
Well, I have 42 people that figure that out. But for me personally, I'm a electrical engineer, by major. So
yeah.
I kind of like being weird sometimes. I kind of like the nerd in it. You know what I mean?
Right,
so
right.
I don't mind it.
Okay, so promotion hats off. What are you listening to right now? What's on your phone right now that you're bumping on a regular right now?
I mean, you gotta say. See, I'm different because as a 50-year-old, there are things that I say are native to me, and artists that are native to me. But because I'm in a ever evolving music business. If it came out yesterday, I'm listening to it because I'm managing what's next, and so, not promoting my own stuff, but when you have somebody like Shy Glizzy drop an album, I'm consuming it all different kinds of ways.
Yeah.
And so part of my job is to never have somebody signed to my label that I can't be them at any given moment. So in order to know that, you have to listen to the music. A lot of people say, well, Kev, you only listen to your artist's music 90% of the time, and then the other percent, I'm listening to things and new trends in the marketplace, and books that I'm listening. I mean, I'm just a different kind of person. Today,
that's so weird.
Today, what I was listening to on my way over here, Meg Mac just dropped a record last week called "Give Me My Name Back," and it touched a nerve in me. And so I think anyone who's going through not knowing who they are, maybe they were in a bad marriage and they want their name back, or maybe they felt they had no voice and they want to stand up and be. It's like, so I look for music to make me feel a certain way and touch certain emotions in my body. So I'm listening to Joel Osteen in the morning. I can't. So you asked me as far as hip hop, what did I just listen to? I like what Quavo just dropped last week. I love Lil Baby and Gunna. I think they're the new wave of this next generation of rap artists.
So you always have to listen to music with like a work hat on.
I don't, unless I'm listening to Marvin Gaye. But even, I tell people about, I get my Quincy Jones on because I'm a former artist and former writer and former producer. So when I listen to a Michael Jackson and he'll sing "She's Out of My Life," you know what I mean? I want to know what the hell was he thinking when he's singing that it sounds like he wrote it.
Yeah.
It sounds like because he's feeling it somewhere. Or you hear somebody like a Bruno Mars take it back to a funk sound, but he's a pop R&B artist. So I'm not. It's not that I'm listening for work purposes.
Yeah.
I'm listening for the art of it. It's like every time an artist drops a piece of music, it's like a Picasso to me.
Yeah.
It's I want to dissect it. I want to understand it.
Like the essence of it, right?
Yeah, just know. And sometimes it gets so crazy with me that I'll call the artist up and say, "Yo, what were you thinking? How do you?" And I don't really, and I do it because I enjoy it. See, a lot of people work at jobs that they don't enjoy. I enjoy my job, and it's not 9 to 5. It's work days, work ends. It's part of my life. It's who I am. I can't fake what I do. So I'm in it every single day.
Yeah. And how long have you been in the music industry?
In the industry since I was 15, 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I was an artist. I mean, before then, I was a DJ. I mean, if you when you say industry, I'm talking when I started getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 15.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I've been in the studio. it's just things I've been. This has been. I can truly say it's pivotal points in my life. Hip hop saved my life. Now I come from Baltimore. At age 16, you're supposed to be on drugs, in jail, or dead. So it caught because I was good in football also in high school. Yes, I was a Boy Scout. I mean, this stuff you want to bring up.
Yeah.
And when hip hop came, it sort of like took me to a very happy place in my life. And I lost my mind. I remember when and my hip hop is not just Sugar Hill. When I heard Sucker MC, it's no way the two guys could make me feel, and the beat it made me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different from Curtis Blow made me feel, back then. It just Run MC made me say, oh, I can do me. I don't have to dress in any kind of way, no weirdo shit.
Right.
I can really be me. I can sag, I can put my Adidas on. It made me feel part of it. And so that pivotal moment when you ask me how long I've been in it, it's my life. You cut me open, I bleed hip hop.
And so you've been in the industry. I mean, I don't know if you ever think about this, but like maybe longer than most of your audience has been alive, right? I mean, you were just talking.
That's deep. That's deep.
Because you were just telling me a story off the mic, and you were just like you were talking to an artist, and he didn't. Well, you tell the story.
I mean, no names, but
no names.
The new generation, they're so entrepreneurial that they're not concerned about the past. They don't care about Christopher Columbus and how he discovered America.
Yeah.
They care about what's my America, what's my way, what's my journey. And I mentioned an artist that I said, you sound, you remind me of an early such and such artist. And
you don't even want to say the such and such artist?
I mean, you remind me of an early Method Man.
Yeah.
Coming out of Wu-Tang,
which is a compliment. It's
the alt. What?
Exactly.
And he said, "Who's that?" And I wasn't offended by it.
Yeah.
It
checked you.
It checked me, number one, but it also said part of me even being here today, I owe our culture and the next generation of leaders the opportunity to hear what my perspective was on a journey and to give back to them. So maybe they don't want to hear from Christopher Columbus, maybe they don't want to know about it, but it's going to be documented somewhere just in case someone wants to go.
Yeah.
And see, hey, maybe how do I know I want to go from A to Z, but let me check the podcast and L and see what Jeff and Kevin was talking about.
Do you think that's a detriment, though, that a lot of the younger people aren't recognizing the foundation, the architects? Or do you think it's just the youth?
I think it's life. I think there's things that people would probably say, Kevin, you should have cared about coming up.
Yeah.
And I really didn't. There was certain ways that my parents said that this is how you live your life.
Yeah.
And if I would have worked at a job, a 9 to 5, and got benefits and then retired, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. So I believe who I am, and with things I didn't respect and follow. And I don't think hip hop would be where it is. I don't think 300 would be created if we listened to what people told us what was the right way or the wrong way. I love, you call them Generation Z, but I call them Generation E for entrepreneurship. They really will start something tomorrow. They'll see something that they could monetize or something that they could be passionate about, and they'll build audience on it.
Yeah.
And if you really think about it, I come from I call it, four corners. There was the drug corner, there was the liquor store, there was the church, and then there was Mom House. So I look at, you saw guys build multi-million-dollar businesses and didn't even go to school.
Yeah.
And then you look at the immigrant, for lack of a better term, that comes from had nothing, came here with nothing, and they own 2 grocery stores,
Right,
and corner stores,
yeah.
or bodegas that you call them
Yeah.
here. And then you think about the pastor that one time was a former dealer who did not learn the right way and didn't go through the bishop this and this thing, and he has a church of 10,000 people following his. So that spirit,
Yeah, that hustle.
What if Joel Osteen, the pastors prior to Joel Osteen, said, "This is how you pastor."
Right.
And
This is the rules you have to follow to pass it. Yeah.
This is who you should be like. No, I don't think it's that. I think we have to give Generation Z the opportunity to do them. And that's one of the rules in my book. Do you? Don't pattern yourself after any. It's like and tell me when I'm talking too much. It's like when think about Rick Rubin,
Yeah.
Russell, Leor, and then myself.
I feel like we have to say Russell Simmons, Leor Cohen, in case y'all listening want to Google these names.
Rick Rubin, one of the greatest producers to this day. Russell Simmons, founder of one of the founders of Def Jam, Fat Farm, Def Comedy Jam, Def Poetry Jam, changed my life.
Yep.
Leor Cohen, my partner, I've been with him for 25 years. He's now running Google Music and YouTube Music, and my partner at 300. If I say, well, I got to do how Rick did it,
Yeah.
or how Lear did it. But what I did do is say, let me take a little bit of Rickism and care about the music. Let me take a little Russellism, care about the culture and be of service. Let me take a little Learism, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then let me add on it to my ism of always think about the greater good and the greater God. And if you use that, you'll get far and you'll be in longer. So that's why I'm here 35 years later.
Those 4 aspects that you just outlined is like almost the perfect recipe, isn't it?
Listen, hopefully somebody else say that. If you say that, I still think I'm still in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'm still cooking.
No, but what you gained out of those isms is like the perfect combination, right?
Priceless.
Yeah.
You couldn't even, Dick Parsons. I take guidance from a lot of different things, and I see choices that people make, and a lot of my choices now come from spirituality.
Yeah.
And I want good karma around, and you think about those people, and I would ask that, just like music, I study people, I study situations, and those isms were definitely pillars.
Yeah.
But there's so many more people. Jack Welch, I'm a big fan of Jack Welch. I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs. Paul, being a number 2. We lost Paul Allen this week. I've been a number 2 more than I've been a number 1. And the role of a number 2, just looking at the choices and decisions and how some people don't stay together, but they go build separate businesses.
Yeah.
And that, I just never looked at it like that. If I could still be, if Rick wanted to do, we'll still be together. If he wanted to have a record company,
Yeah.
That's how I felt. So those are the pillar of my isms.
Right. So let's go back. It's well documented that you started as an intern, right, at Def Jam in '91.
Yes.
Yeah. What were you doing right prior to that? A lot of young people could be like, yeah, I need an internship, right? What were you doing right before you got the internship at Def Jam?
Probably I had my own record label called Marx Brothers Records. I probably put out, I don't know whether it was Do You Want to Drop Down to Your Knees. It was all local stuff.
Okay.
Records that I did.
You had signed acts?
We would only act on a label.
Okay.
So it was us, but we were 5 guys, and then 3 guys, and then 1 guy is still a big DJ, house DJ around the world. But we owned a studio. But I was also a manager for a marketing agency. I was also also in my last year of electrical engineering. I was also
At school?
At school at
Okay.
Morgan State.
Okay.
And I was a jack of all trades. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I will always work. Always, you say something about me. You know, I can't remember everything that I was doing, but I probably was doing 10 things.
Yeah.
And trying to figure out what I wanted my life to look like. But what I really, from 86, I remember, to 91, I was in a lawsuit with Milli Vanilli over the rights of the record.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
over
so
the rights of the Girl You Know's True record that I wrote.
that you wrote.
when I was 15. Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. So it's that pivotal moment scarred me in a good way. You know how some scars, like,
Yeah.
you don't want to show people? I'll show people that scar because it made me feel I did not want to be in the music business. I wanted to learn the business of music. And it changed my whole perspective. I never wanted artists to be treated like I was treated. I never want to steal from anybody. And I want to make sure that my job every day is to protect the art.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
so that was my mindset.
Was something going on at Def Jam that you saw that was like, what they're doing is dope, I want to join that?
Was something going on at Def Jam?
Yeah, what was going on in 91 at Def Jam? Why did you pick Def Jam?
I picked where my heart was,
Uh-huh.
but I also knew that the senior vice president of Def Jam, and remember, I was still trying to get signed to a major label, even though I had my label.
Yeah.
But the senior vice president of Def Jam was a guy from Baltimore named Wes Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
and Wes was a former DJ. Wes used to play my records
Wow.
as a DJ. So I remember the critical moment. I'm at Jack. I used to go to all the conferences. So I'm at Jack the Rapper, one of those conferences. And he said, "Kev, when you put out some new music?" I said, "Man, they tore my ass up. I got to learn this business." I said, "You should really hire me at Def Jam." He said, "Kevin, I can't hire you." Now you understand, I'm already making money.
Okay.
This it wasn't about money to
Yeah.
me. He said, "No, I want you to intern." I said, "What the fuck is intern? What do you mean intern?" I'm street, Kev. What do you mean intern? I'm making money already. What do you mean intern? He said, "But Kev, you don't know the." I said, "How you gonna tell me I wrote a record, I recorded it in the studio, I sold 100,000 copies, they sold 18 million copies. What don't I know?
Right.
Tell me what I know how to promote, market. I was selling records out of my car, doing consignment. What don't I know?"
Okay.
He said, "But you got to enter. This is how we do it here." And I said, thought about it. Intern for Def Jam. All right, fuck it, I'm doing it. And that was a decision that I made. So for 2 years, from 91 to 93, I interned. Now, understand, when I say intern, it's a different thing because, again, I'm interning, I'm in Baltimore. I'm doing Philadelphia, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. I already know because I opened up for LL Cool J. I was a performer.
Yeah.
Any artist that came through that area, Will Smith, I opened up for, what I mean? Because I was kind of big,
Right.
in the area. So I knew every DJ. I knew every club. I knew every record store. I knew everything.
Yeah.
So when they wanted to hire a regional, I'm like, well,
You got it.
I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Y'all, why not? But they didn't hire me. They got a guy named Kevin Mitchell, who's a good friend from Boston, and they sent them to my market. And so the joke was, I'm like, so now I'm interning for a guy who don't know.
Yeah, you're the tour guide.
I'm the guy, you
Yeah.
know. But it was a funny thing. I was talking about it with a good friend last night. So every DJ used to play my record.
Yeah.
And part of a regional promotion director's job is to get your records played, take over the market. But, radio would stay here, publicity would stay here, and I had to do it all myself, so I
Yeah.
kind of knew all the people. So Kevin calls me one day, say, "Man, I'm trying to see Frank Ski. I'm trying to see him, but I can't get in touch with him." I said, "Who, Frank?" Boop, boop, boop. "Frank, my man coming to see you." "All right, cool. Just tell him to bring some food." And it was that moment.
Right.
But again, Frank used to have a place called Hammerjacks and used to be an artist himself, and we toured together. So you weren't talking about a DJ. You was talking about a human being, a friend to me. And so that was part of what changed everything in my life. And Kevin Mitchell, I remember we were on a conference. He would let me listen on a conference. It's just like God's been so good to me. He would let me listen on a conference call that an intern is not supposed to be on.
Totally.
And so I learned the art of listening. Because every day, this is for 2 years, every Wednesday, I would sit and listen to what people talked about,
Yeah.
how they talked about the country and things. And he said on a call, he said, guys, my intern is better than all of us, and he will be running the company. That was in 93.
Wow.
Became the president, CEO in 98.
Yeah. So how does that happen? How do you go from intern to president in 5-7 years?
I mean, I don't know. Here's all I can say.
Okay.
When I became an intern, I made a commitment to be the best me as an intern. So that means I had to be the president of interns.
Okay.
Nobody could out intern me. You got. I have electrical engineering makeup. So when you ask me to dissect the market or put a plan together, my shit looked like 5 pages, graphs and charts.
Yeah.
When the other guys,
a Post-it note.
they said, "Well, we went there and the club said this." No, I would give
Right.
so much detail and put books together that I remember when he came for the interview. It was funny. So Kevin Mitchell obviously gets moved up because the market is booming.
Yeah.
We're killing it. So he gets moved up. So I'm thinking, I know I got the job. I know I got it now. Nope, we're interviewing other people. You can come interview for the job.
Wow.
And this is after 2 years of doing it for free. And everybody knew me. Everybody knew I was doing the work.
Yeah.
And we in Def Comedy Jam. We in all kinds of shit. So I said, y'all want me to interview for the record? I had to question myself. Intern? You want me to interview now?
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. So I remember I put my suit on because I was told you wear a suit to an interview. That's what you do. But my briefcases of study of, what I thought about came up. And I'm in there with 4 other people there. I don't even know these people.
Yeah.
And they're in there for the same job
Oh.
that I'm in. So they laughing at me because I
Yeah.
got a suit on.
Right.
I'm saying, guys, well, I don't understand. So you got an interview job. You go.
Yeah.
I said,
Professionalism.
yeah, this is what. So they have their piece of paper, and I have books of studies and things I put together for 2 years. They said, yo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I said, I'm not leaving without getting this job. This is my job.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting this job.
Right.
It's my job. Interview, didn't hear from 3 months.
Oh my God.
3 months. And again, I put in the work.
Yeah.
I know I had the best presentation of what the marketplace would look like. I am Baltimore. I am the Mid-Atlantic. It was no way.
Yeah.
And so I envisioned from being the president of interns, from being the president of the interview section,
Yep.
To being the president of patients.
Yeah. Because most people would have been like, fuck this.
Oh, they would, of course. But again, I always knew about the greater good. If they let me in, if they let the Baltimore boy in, if they let him in, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And so it was that I sized the company up. I thought to myself, what does Leo not like to do? What does Russell not like to do? What does Rick was gone in, but how can I serve Rick and his vision?
Yeah.
And those are the things that I did, what they didn't want to do.
You found the white space, right? Like
I
that
found you put me there, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Didn't even matter what it was. People don't come in. I remember when I first came, they were like, Kevin, you don't have to do detailed reports like that. I said, no, I'm not doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for me. This is how I like my shit to be documented. This is how I like my shit to look.
I'm not brown nosing.
No,
this is for me.
This is who I am. You can't. And I think so when people ask you, how did you do it? I did me. I wasn't worried about being the president.
Right.
I was worried about whatever they asked me to do, be the best you at that time. And in the process of that, build your toolbox. Now, see, my toolbox came from a lot of different things. So if somebody said, hey, we need to build a house. I got it. Bird house, tree house, what house?
Yeah.
I could build the house. Oh, no, we need you to change the tire on the car. Oh, okay, I got that. So when the time came to be regional, general manager, EVP, president.
Those are the steps you took?
Yeah.
The ones you just mentioned?
Regional manager, well, intern first.
Yeah.
Regional manager, general manager of promotions, general manager of the company, president, and CEO. I think that was the
Incredible.
But these were all things like when I was a regional, we were opening Def Jam West.
Yeah.
And so Leo says, I need you to go to LA. I said, well, I'm the regional, I do the Mid-Atlantic region. Everything you did there, I want you to do on the West Coast. I said, but I work.
Are you impersonating his voice?
That's Leor.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Leor Cohen.
Only you can make fun of Leo, but go ahead. Continue.
And he says, but I need you to go out. I said, but you got the head of promotion, you got the vice president of promotion. Shouldn't they be doing that? He said, I want every market in the country to be like the Mid-Atlantic region.
Oh.
So he was like, and what happened was every time an artist would come back from my region, they would go to Russell and Leo and say, yo, that kid down there, the police, the drug, he know everybody. He can make anything happen.
Yeah.
And so they kept coming back. And so they said, go out to the West Coast. And so again, what they wanted is a blueprint. And Wes came to me and said, man, listen, all I can tell you is keep doing what you're doing because I'm going to be working for you. Now, this is my mentor and my guy.
Yeah.
And he flew me out to the West Coast. Actually came to my house and got me in Baltimore. Told my mom it's going to be all right. Now, again, I'm young still. I moved to the West Coast. What? I got in the van with South Central Cartel and Mello and drove from Seattle all the way over to Denver.
Okay.
Just so I understood the marketplace.
You got in a car and just absorbed everything.
I lived every bit of the West Coast. Every saw everything, touched everything, the very fabric of what it meant to be in the West Coast. And that's what I provided the team that eventually came and opened the office there.
I think you were smart enough to know prior that you didn't know it, so you had to learn it.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't make the assumption that you're like, no, I got this on my own.
Listen, and God reminds me every time. So actually, Julie Greenwald is a great friend of mine, the current COO of Atlantic Records, was Wes's assistant. She actually called me and said, well, I was working at World Connections Travel. Shout out to World Connections Travel. Again, I think I'm 17, 18, I'm the manager there.
Yeah.
So what the picture I'm trying to paint, it wasn't just about Def Jam. Kevin Liles was going to be the star football player if I played football. Kevin Liles was going to be the preacher if I was in a church. Kevin Liles was going to be of service at the greatest height, no matter where it was. So I'm the manager of 400 people. Again, I'm 18 years old. I don't have a degree in marketing, nothing like that, but I'm running this place with my former partner named Jim Buckingham. And Julie calls and says, hi, is Kevin there? And one of my assistants comes and say, Kevin, Julie Greenwald from Def Jam's on the phone. Now, I'm excited as fuck. I'm like, yo, this might be it, or it might not be it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, get them calls. I'm doing what I do. So, hey, hi, Julie, it's Kevin. Hey, she said, Kevin, we'd love for you to come. We're gonna pay you $30,000 as a regional. Now, again, I'm making hundreds of thousands. It didn't matter. It's like, and I said, well, I think I can work with y'all for that. She said, no, you'll work for us for that.
Wow. Okay,
cool. Listen, you could say everybody can say everything.
Yeah.
I'm cool with how you say it, but you let me in.
Wow.
And you give me the opportunity to be the best me for that moment in time. When somebody asked me to do something, in 96 they came and said, because I was in New York then, and they were like, you did the West Coast, be general manager of promotion. What the fuck is general manager of promotion? What is that? They made up some title because you had a senior vice president of promotion, you had a vice president of promotion. You
couldn't go there, so they gave you something else.
And but I was working. But really, at the end of the day, they were saying, we want you to run the promotions department. Right. So, 96, they said, I'm in office, and everybody would come to my office. All the artists, they'd come. They wouldn't go to Russell, wouldn't go to Leo. They would come to my office. And so it was that time. It was like, yo, we gotta. And Leo tell you, Russell, they didn't give it to me. I took it. It wasn't. But I didn't take it to take it.
Yeah.
I saw the white space, and I wrote my own plan for what it looked like. And again, all of service. If it was up to me, Russell would still be chairman emeritus. Julie would be president. Leo would be CEO. We would all be together.
Yeah.
If the opportunity, we stayed together, we're still together, but I'm talking in the sense of be at one place.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is, when in 96, when he asked me about, we really want you to be the president of the company, I said, I'm not ready.
Who asked you?
Leo. Wow. Russell said it, you're the president. Leo's like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't just make him a president, you know what I mean? And so it was a freaking fact thing back and forth with them. And I'm in the room, so they talk about me in the room, you know what I mean? And then...
Wait, Leo in the room, you in the room with Leo said, you can't make him president?
Yeah, of course. It didn't matter, to me, but that's how honest we were with each other.
Yeah.
And I just say, yo, I'm not ready to be president. Mm-hmm. So Russell, look, I said, Russell, I don't know the world. Mm-hmm. I know the United States now.
Yeah.
But I don't know the world. And there's emerging markets in hip hop that I should really know before accepting the responsibility. Because I always looked at it, don't take on something you can't kill. Mm-hmm. Don't say you want it and you're not prepared for it. Because there's going to be some shit that you're going to have to deal with. Yeah. And even employees that might not have liked me being the president.
Exactly, yeah.
Because I'm a Baltimore kid. I wasn't a cousin, a friend, nothing. Uh-huh. The shit got so crazy, they wouldn't let me in the art room. They wouldn't let me deal with Mark because they felt like I didn't know.
Right. Who are you?
Yeah. Then they made me president.
Right. So how did that meeting end?
Well, 96 didn't do it. And then 98, they didn't give me a choice.
Wow. So how did that meeting go, the 98 meeting? You're a president, period. Get out of here now. We were thinking about selling the company. Okay. And I say they were thinking about it. But they had made 5 of us partners. And I was one of the partners that they made. Mm-hmm. So... and Julie was running one half of the company. I was running the other half of the company. Leo was running the company, however you want to put it. So we all, ran things. And it was just time. And Leo felt like, the best person to usher in what's new is Kevin. Yeah.
And over a lot of people.
And zero objections, obviously.
Didn't matter. It
could have been, but
it's whatever him and Russell said, and again, because of how I carried myself, even when I was president, I was still carrying artist bags. I was still doing whatever people told me to do.
That says a lot.
Because it didn't matter. And one thing I didn't tolerate though is laziness and tardiness and lack of efficiency. I would come to work. If a radio station is on 24 hours a day, today you can stream music anytime. Why are we not on the whole time?
Right.
So we're a business. The coming in at 11 o'clock to go sit and get a cup of coffee, have that water cooler moment, then talk about you're going to go to lunch, that's just dead. Stinking, nope. Coming in, and then people didn't come in before me, I write on the door or post a note. What makes you better than me that you come in after me?
You'd stick it on their door?
Stick it on their door. Didn't matter who it was. I don't care if they reported to me or not, because I wanted to change the culture of the company. We are a business. We are a business. We're going to operate like a business. This is not a party. We are a business. We're going to operate like a business. And that structure took on a ethos of its own, because then I started to bring people in that thought differently. That my first assistant was a street team. I was on her street team, Shanita Floyd. I was on her actual street team in the Mid-Atlantic region working records. I brought her in as my assistant. Then I moved her to, because I knew she could do national promotions, I moved her to college radio in Babito.
Okay.
Then I brought in a girl that came from Morgan Stanley. She was as my assistant because I wanted more business structure. All right, and so again, as your
toolkit.
I'm putting my tool, and now again, so I went from me having my own tools to now the tool of people.
Yeah.
And putting those people in place.
How did it finally end at Def Jam? How do you go? Because you eventually then went and did your own management company after that, right?
No, you missing years.
Okay.
So, in '98, we sold the company to Universal. Originally, we were with Polygram, but we sold Def Jam, and part of that we had to stay on to manage the business. So Lear took on the chairmanship. We put Island Def Jam together.
Yeah.
Lear took on the chairmanship role of Island Def Jam, made Julie and I executive vice presidents of Island Def Jam. I'm still retained the president and CEO of Def Jam proper. At that time, we were Def Jam West, Def Jam South, Def Jam London, Def Jam Japan.
Def Jam Japan.
You know,
Shout out Rico Sakurai.
Def Jam Germany.
Yeah.
So the verticals of Fat Farm, Def Jam Enterprises, the gaming, Comedy Jam, Poetry Jam, Def College Jam, all the jams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was, and again, but we had a crew of people, smart people, Russell being a heavy entrepreneur, Leo being a great visionary and operator, me being a great executor, Julie being a great creative. We had, Mike Kaiser coming in, the big, tall black guy that did rhythm radio. It's like, and we were all kids still, growing up, learning this business. And
so you were on contract with Universal to continue
as running, and we did that from '98 to 2004, and Leor made the decision to leave. To be the global chairman of recorded music for Warner Music Group. We took Warner Music Group private from Time Warner. Very pivotal moment in my life. Because when Leo left, they thought everybody's leaving. It's not. And I felt an onus to the culture to not just up and leave Def Jam until I understood what was the plan for it and how could I leave it in a place where, again, we're huge. I mean, this is DMX, Ja, Jay, LL, Ludacris. I mean, I can't. It's every artist. We couldn't big. And I remember Jimmy Iovine and Doug wanted to have a conversation with me because they didn't want to make me chairman of Island Def Jam.
Jimmy Iovine was on the
West Coast.
Okay.
He was the chairman of Geffen, Interscope, whatever that group was called.
Okay.
And they wanted to have a real conversation. And I never told anybody this story, this part of it, about why I wasn't ready to take on that role.
Yeah.
And they hired L.A. Reid to come in. And L.A.'s my friend. If you go back in '87, I think it was '87, we all won Song of the Year, Writers Award at BMI Awards. We were in the picture together. He did Jerry Curl, whatever they had, and me with my high top fade, and I got the picture. So it's my friend.
Yeah.
Respect and love him. And the terminology that I used with him, I said, they gave you the house, but I have the key. I don't want that dynamic. I don't want it your people, my people. So let's really have a conversation around how this works best for you.
Okay.
How can I be of service to help us get to a place where the company's healthy? There's no infighting. I want to think about the greater good.
Yeah.
I said, but I'm giving you the keys though. Took our relationship to a different level.
Yeah.
Because he knew what it was. I wanted the place to be right. And then the whole thing was, who would be president of Def Jam, or who this, and blah, this person, that person, and
it must have hurt. Like you talk about the Milli Vanilli scar, like this was another
scar.
Yeah.
But another scar that I wear proudly because I want you to think about the time. Russell wasn't there, Rick wasn't there, and now Leo wasn't there.
Leo wasn't there. Yep.
I only wanted to be of service on a team. See, I don't want to win. I don't want to say I won the championship. I scored all the points. I don't want to. I want to appreciate Paxton. I want to appreciate Scottie Pippen. I want to appreciate
Rodman.
I
Yeah,
want to.
I got you.
And I want to play my position,
Yeah.
whatever that position. I love playing for a team. Now, at any given moment, I can be Michael because I want that shot at 3 seconds left.
Yeah.
I want that, but I love playing part of a team. So, was I ready to build my own team in that manner at that particular time? Where was Def Jam going? Was I Michael Jordan playing on the Bulls, won 6 championship rings, and I was scoring 30 points, and people go, well, shit, you should be going 60 points.
Yeah.
What more could I have done
Right.
at Def Jam? So this is in my mind. Where else could we take? I sold 10 million games.
Yeah.
Video games. What else could I did the hip hop's view of Scarface documentary inside of the 25th anniversary of Scarface, the movie, made $8 million. I mean, I'm doing all kinds of, and so I really felt like it might be time for new energy, for somebody to take it. Maybe they have some vision that I don't have.
Right.
Did it hurt? It hurt when I stopped playing football in my senior year. It hurt when somebody stole my record. It hurt when I had to leave a place. One of the things, there is a Kevin Liles era at Def Jam.
Yeah.
And people can't deny it. People can't, no matter what they say, how they want to look at it. So, but I also think I got my bachelor's at Def Jam. I wanted my master's. And
Yeah, well put.
what role would that put me in?
Yeah.
And so I decided, I took respectful with everybody. I decided not to stay, and we made great love. Everybody moved out and went to hug some trees. Did a lot of walking on the beach and figuring out, because I left my baby.
Yeah.
No, and it was my baby.
I know.
It was
Since
my
91.
my baby.
Yeah.
I left my baby.
Because what year is this now? That when you walked away?
04.
Wow. Okay.
And I just read up my contract to stay because I was going to make sure. But you never. Again, I'm always going to take me out the game. If you can win, take me out the game.
Right.
I don't care if I'm a star or not.
I just want to win. You just want to win.
I want to win.
Yeah.
So I felt the best win for Def Jam at that time was to make sure LA had all the resources and the consistency and the channel energy that he needed to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And so Edgar calls me, Brofman, former owner of Universal, everything, parks, theme, movie, everything, called and said, Lear's over here having fun. I want you to come have fun with us. Now, if you know anything about moving people, you have no poach agreements and things like this, and non-competes
Yeah.
and things. And so I really couldn't talk to Lear about anything other than, how's my friend doing?
Yeah.
How's the kids?
Right.
How's the wife? Hope everything is, because people might be trying to set us up or anything.
Yeah.
So Edgar says, I need you. And if Lear could talk to you, he would tell you, I want you, but he couldn't talk
Yeah.
to me.
Crazy.
And then Edgar says, I'm going to create a position. Remember general manager of promotions.
Yeah.
So now they create this position. You're the executive vice president of the Warner Music Group.
Okay.
Me, same old Kevin. What does that?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Be the best you. Because they knew by me being the best me, all kinds of shit had changed.
Yeah,
The culture changed. I had no boundaries of what I can do, no conversation I couldn't have, and I was an artist guy. So I was of service for the Warner Music Group, where I remember sitting in the board meeting and we explaining the business, and one of the investors pulled me to the side. They said, listen, all we care about is the EBITDA and revenue growth, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So then I had to go figure out what the hell he was talking about. Right. So then again, that's where the masters came in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so it made me study boards. It made me go sit on some other boards. It made me define what an executive vice president of a music group would be.
Yeah. And so now you're back with Leo, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now Leo, I'm working under him, but I'm executive vice president of the music group. He's the chairman of Recorded Music.
Yeah.
And then Edgar said, "Well, I want you to start coming to, my meeting." And so now I'm in there with me, Leo, Michael, this one, Hit a Digital, all these people, and they all had, for the right term, they all had P&Ls.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I just did me. Whatever Kevin, go get this movie, this thing, go whatever you want to do because you're gonna produce revenue. And so I remember vividly, I did that until 2009, and it was contract re-up time, and the business was just changing so much, and I got away from what I felt the essence and the beauty of looking at a piece of art or playing golf. I forgot because I had to talk through 20 people to have an artist do the right thing. I'm not good at talking through 20 people.
Right.
Especially when I'm a former artist. I want to say what I want to say to them and let them know how I feel and touch them.
Yeah.
And by the way, walk with them and go through the process with them. So it's learning moments in that. And it was some things that I wanted to do that some artists that I wanted to sign, and people started to tell me like, I don't think we should sign Chris Brown. No, I don't know what. Okay, you know what?
Right. Is that what your Excel spreadsheet told you, that we shouldn't sign Chris Brown?
I'm gonna go and hug some trees again. So I remember the moment Edgar asked me to, we want to be in the artist services business and to build out a division of artist services. So now, okay, I want to give you a P&L. So then I had to put my engineer hat on again, what I mean? And I had to change the mentality of what I was doing. And I think we were doing like 3 or 4 million, hired some great people. The guy, I actually hired a guy who runs it now, and it's a $200 million business for them. And it was at that moment when I came back from one of my tree sessions, and I felt I needed to get close again.
Yeah.
So
to the art, close to the art. Yeah.
So I told Edgar and Leo, I just got to do me. I just have to. And they said, well, listen, you just signed a contract. I said, yo, we're not dealing with no contracts. He said, listen, just don't compete with us.
Wink. He just winked.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
I've been doing music my whole life. I don't know what it meant.
Right.
Don't compete.
You mean open a cafe? What do you want me to do?
Plant some trees. I don't know. But then I realized they wanted me to be of service to the culture in a way, and wanted to be able to tap into. They wanted me to pick up the phone and be available if they needed me to do something, but no strings attached, no anything. I could have did anything. Yeah. And it was at that moment that people couldn't believe, yo, you in the ivory tower, you can do what you want to do. Why would you leave all that money, all this power? Why would you leave? I saw a void in mentorship and leadership at a level that would help build stronger executives and stronger managers, and and I felt it wasn't there. So I had to get close, and what the business was saying, you got to be next to the artist. So I'm out doing me. I'm not thinking about management, not thinking about anything, just taking some time. Again, I've been doing it since I was 16. Yeah, I don't even know how old I was in 2004. Because I was president at age 30. So I must have been maybe 40 or something. I get a call, and it's from Trey Songz. He says, OG, I'm firing my manager. I said, what'd you call me for? Well, I'm just cool. Okay, cool. He said, nah, but you know, my manager was one of your first former interns. Okay. I said, oh yeah, right. He said, would you manage people? I said, man, I'm a CEO. I don't know what, I'm not waking nobody up to
Right.
No, I'm not doing this. And I said, well, here's what I'll do. Again, tactical Kev. I want you to go see every manager. Tell me what you want. Tell them what you want, and then come back and articulate the meetings. He comes back and said, they all want commission. You want to help me be a better man? I said, Jesus Christ. Then his mom calls me.
Wow.
Trey's mom, April, and says, my son looks at you more like a father. He looks at you more, and again, I was at the Warner Music Group. I wasn't at particular Atlantic Records or Warner Brothers Records or Chapel. I was at the group. But when they named the street after me in Baltimore, Trey was living in Baltimore. He came to the street. So I want you to think, put the picture in your mind. I'm getting a street named after me. The kid that signed to Atlantic Records comes, and 2-3 out years, I don't know the time is a blur, is sitting in me telling me how much of an inspiration I am to him. So his mom said, listen, if anything, do it for me, because he needs somebody in his life to, what am I saying, man? That's God. That's God talking to me in a different way. And he was the first client that I had, and I built like 15 clients, and then I started have office space and things, because my office was, funny enough, I know I'm talking a lot, Lee, but I haven't done this in a long time. My office was the Mandarin Oriental Hotel lobby area.
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan, Columbus Circle.
Columbus Circle, yeah.
There was a table, it was a Kevin Liles table. Sat 8 people around.
You had a WeWork in the Mandarin Oriental.
I would go there every day. All my meetings and everything was there. To the point where I thought it was cheaper to do that than have office space.
Yeah.
So I did that for like 2 years. And I remember, and the point I want to make about that place, and I'm gonna clarify, when I say hug trees or go walk around thing, I mean I take a moment for myself.
Yeah.
And if you go sit on there, you'll see the CNN sign there and the time. And so I didn't realize that I'm looking at this every day for 2 years, until one day I asked myself, God, what are you saying to me? Why here? Why are these surroundings? What are you saying to me? And I looked at CNN. I said, dumbass Kevin, create a new network. It's an epiphany that I had. So I realized it wasn't management that God was telling me to do. He was telling me to create this new network of entrepreneurs that allows you to be the CEO, their COO and their CEO.
Yeah.
So put the business on top of its own head. Put a CEO next to a creative talent and build networks.
And that is?
And that is KWL. Then I get a call from Lear. I should have left when you left. I said, Lear, what do you mean? You have a head start out there now. You touching the artist, you touching the baggie, you're there in it. I said, Lear, I left for my own. I should have left. But tell you what we're going to do. The business is fucked up. Everybody losing money. We're going to start another business.
You and me. You and me.
Yeah. And it was three of us. 4 of us. And I said, listen, I don't know how to work for anybody. I don't know what that is. You know what I mean? He said, have I ever treated you like you work for me? I said, no. He said, you're my partner. You're going to be my partner. You're going to be my partner. We're going to be partners. And you know when I want to dribble left. You know when I need the ball, when I don't need the ball. You know when I need rest because I'm driving and somebody else, we're on a 20-hour trip. You got to drive. He said, we know each other. I know who you are, what you don't. You can't play golf yet. You know you want to work all the time, but we know everything about each other. And we started co-founding the business, which is 300 Entertainment. And it was just if you think about it, we were crazy. It's crazy to go do what we did. You know what I mean? And 5 years ago.
Right.
You know?
And then, so you formed, he calls you up, you formed this company 300. And I know I'm fast forwarding a lot just for time's sake, but then there's a point where he's like, all right, I got to go now. Right? I mean, tell a story of how like.
Google Venture is our biggest investor.
Okay.
They had a need. They wanted to be heavy in the audio streaming space.
Yeah.
They needed leadership in a way that would help change a culture. You know, you got a lot of engineers.
Yeah, right. Coders.
Yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
Who's talking to the artist? It's everything in an algorithm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need, the music community needs something. They're at war with them because of the payments and things like this. So, and Lyra was constantly trying to take over people. I'm having fun again. And we're guys. We in this. Oh shit, Fetty Wap. Oh, but go Young Thug. Oh,
Yeah.
Migo. Oh, it's all we're on fire in 5 years.
Yep.
And he said, I have to tell you something. Our biggest investor is asking that I come and do this. And so, Analytical Kev, how much money did we make for YouTube last year? X amount of dollars. So now my man is going to be running YouTube music.
Yeah.
They're our biggest investor. It adds to our toolbox. Because now, again, when you have partners,
Yeah.
hey, we gonna build a house.
Yeah. To Google Ventures, you're a tool in their toolbox. Yes.
And they're a tool in my toolbox. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
So now, and you know, I'm sitting on the board, you know, and I go, we're doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll tell a story in an interview. Say I pushed him to because we want to constantly evolve and reinvent ourselves also.
Yeah.
So now we add to our toolbox that we ushered in the new relationship with YouTube, that we ushered in, and when I say we, because anything that Russell, Leora, or I do, is we. We might not be working in it together. Russell's in Bali right now building something out, but it's we.
Right.
We always talking about how we see things. And you add Julie Greenwald into the we, and you add Mike Kaiser into the we. We're always talking about the we. So I felt it was the right thing for us.
Did Analytical Kev immediately process that, or was there really?
Immediately.
There wasn't a moment of like, you motherfucker. You just immediately were like, this is a win for this is a win for we.
It's a win for we.
Yeah.
And I was also solving for a problem that as we had so much success, we needed to have the buck had to stop with one person. And it wasn't stopping with one person.
Yeah.
You know, I might have thought differently from this, and you know, so it was a lot of, like I say, I wanted to streamline, and I wanted to teach again.
Yeah.
And so I thought it was the right thing. And to this day, in 2016, when he left, in 2017, we grew 72%. So the business growing 72%, him adding a new tool to our toolbox.
Absolutely.
Was it the right choice?
Absolutely.
But then Analytical Kev had to become non-big management company Kev, because we go from 7 artists to now 100 artists, and it's only me.
Yeah.
So now I have to dissolve my management company to just my friends that I can run their businesses still. So down to 3 clients. London on the Track, Trey Songz, and D'Angelo. Everybody else, I just couldn't do. And I had my friends called me, hey. So I did that, and we grew 72%. I set up an executive leadership team, and my line from that day forth was, I don't want to run the company. I want the company to run, whether I'm here or not.
Yeah.
Leora knew he could make the move and things would be all right, because remember, he left Island Def Jam before.
Yep. Yeah.
We've done it. It's
a repeat.
and he knew that is 3 seconds left, Kevin get the rock.
Right.
And so the board said, you have to be CEO. But I said, but I came here to be a partner. I didn't come to be CEO. But serving the greater good of our investors and of our artists. And you can think about that time. We didn't lose one artist. We didn't lose one employee. But things shook up.
Yeah.
So first year was about stability. Getting everybody flying around, seeing everywhere. Second year was about growth.
Yeah.
And third year now is about 300 2.0 and what that looks like.
Okay. So you wear these two hats of like knowing what an artist wants, but also knowing what a manager or an executive needs, right? If you're talking to a young artist who's trying to get on your radar, what's the best advice you could give? And I was going to ask you the same thing for the manager side, but maybe this answer is the same for both. But yeah.
Show me the value proposition.
Okay. Of yourself as an artist, right?
No.
Oh, even if it's both.
Yeah, there has to be a value proposition where 1 + 1 = 3.
Okay.
And in some cases, 1 + 1 = 10.
Yeah.
There has to be a value proposition. And by hook or crook, get to that. Get to that point. Get to that value proposition. I don't care how, Twitter, Instagram, stop the street. I don't care how, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Get to that value proposition.
1 + 1 + 2 ain't enough.
I can't add. So my shit got to be, if we got two things together, it has to equal something bigger than two.
Right.
Okay, it just doesn't work. I do everything for the greater good and greater God. And when you talk about the greater good, it's exponential. It's not one thing. It's not a cup of water to me.
Word.
It's not that. It's not a cup of coffee for you. You know what I mean? It's not an iPhone for you. It's not a book. It's just not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's things to me that I can only tell you my mission. I ain't did what God got me here to do yet. I'm still in process. I'm still evolving. I'm still putting the tools in the toolbox. I've been asked to run for mayor. I've been asked to take over other corporations. I've been asked to start new businesses. I've been asked to do a lot of different things. I've been asked to open a church, start a church. I don't know what God's saying to me, but when the time comes, I will be prepared.
Yeah. Not
a question in my mind.
I think you got to go hug a tree right now.
But this is therapy. To be honest with you, it's why. And think about what you and I are doing. And we've seen each other before. Met. But our first interaction is you being my therapist.
Yeah.
I'm being honestly. So I walk and talk. So I just found some things out and remembered some things through the conversation and remembered why I question myself every day.
Word. All right. Well, thanks for your time, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.